What's up, guys? KazamaFury here, and I have to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not ready for the next generation of gaming. And it isn't because I'm stuck on this generation and this generation's been good to me, because honestly, it's been okay. It's the fact that the older I get, the more I see the new gamers coming and coming and coming. They're just not observant or give a shit about the industry and why it's changing for the worse. And the whole news about NBA 2K going up to $70 and they giving everybody the same old blah-de-blah about production costs and this is why the games need to be this amount. And we all know the NBA 2K series is dangerously infamous for the amount of money they charge people for virtual currency just to get a fucking haircut. But go on, and I will. This, more than likely, is the stuff that's going to happen with the next generation on steroids, basically. And as people are not making a big deal of it, they are more worried about who console is going to do what, as if it directly affects their pockets. You know me. You don't have to game on every console like I prefer to, or try to game on every console like I prefer to. But when you're online and you actually talking that shit and you trying to change people's mind because you want to be one of the cool kids, you want to hang out with the clique, you don't want to be picked on, you don't want to be an individual, you want to be a fucking drone, you want to be a sheep. You know, that's another thing, another reason why I'm not looking forward to this next generation, because it gets worse. It's been getting worse since, I swear, since the internet really popped off. And PlayStation 2 is where it really started to get worse and worse with every generation when it comes to competition, as if you're making the money that the company's making. Oh, I get it. You're happy that you're going to get more games because of more revenue, but let's be honest. The gaming industry is more lucrative than it's ever been. Games are inevitable, okay? Games are inevitable. Quality, on the other hand, not so much. And while you sit here and you whine and you complain and you try to change other people's minds about stuff, rather than let people be, if they don't make the content for you, kick fucking rocks, go elsewhere, go fuck yourself, one or the other. Anyway, it's like this. The priorities are all wrong. When the consumer's priorities are all over the place and not focused on, hey, wait a minute, we're being had here. The games are going up to what? I just paid the amount of what for this console, and then you telling me the games cost more? Last time I checked, that's the same fucking style of Blu-ray disc that's going into the console. It's coded for a different console, but it's the same quality of disc. This disc isn't a fucking Destructo disc or Kienzan that is special that you can throw at somebody and they cut their head off like Kung Lao. It's the same fucking disc. And you tell me just because of generational purposes, you want me to hike it up to $10 more? Do these games really cost that much more to develop? No, they don't, okay? They really don't. You know, we let it slide when it went from 50 to 60. That was fine. 60, I'm good. But 70? What's going to be next generation? 80? We're going to pay $100? What's this, fucking Neo Geo? That's what we're going to be going up to soon? Neo Geo discs? Like price them out, like their cartridges? Not going to understand that because ROMs are more expensive to manufacture than a fucking piece of plastic. Right? Last time I checked, right? I can understand that, even though it was ultimately the problem with Neo Geo. That's why they went to CD. It's a lot cheaper. Just a lot of things I'm just not looking forward to in the next generation, okay? To be honest with you, I feel like from a visual standpoint, we're kind of maxed out. Like, I'm not gonna see anything that's radically different, especially at the beginning of this generation. Like I said before in the past, we should be at the point where we should be pushing the performance generation. Okay? Imagine games, the best quality games that you had on a PlayStation 4 running at a minimum 60 frames per second without any question. Without any questions. No hiccups, no nothing. Imagine that being set as the standard. But as we check, we got developers still making games for 30 frames per second on the next generation the next generation consoles to come. But people are making excuses now. Like, the PS5 fanboys are making fucking excuses about it. They are. And it's always this thing I can't stand about the ponies, man. It's always fucking excuses. It's always damage controlling, but you don't have that same energy to damage control, or you don't hold Xbox or Nintendo to that same standard. Well, Nintendo, they kind of put themselves out of the equation because they in their own lane, basically. But yeah, keep that same fucking energy. You want to damage control and then call it out on other people, and for the Xbox too. No damage controlling. Let it be. You know, you can't complain about it on one console and then allow it on your console of preference. And that is where we have a den of hypocrites. And be honest with you, I don't find it fucking hypocritical that I'm critical about a company that I give my fucking money to. If I'm paying this company for their products and their service, I got every means to be critical about it. All right? And I could talk about whatever I want, but hey, I guess we not in America, right? You know, we got fuckers over here complaining about wearing masks. Meanwhile, the results of other countries' containment in different state to state containment has been proof enough. But no, people just want to do what they want. But anyway, back on the subject here. I'm not ready for the next gen. I'm not looking to just jump right into it. I'm not like, oh my God, this generation's so good, I don't want it to end. I'm just like, whatever, man. What fucking ever. Anyway, I'm done here. KazamaFury, I'm out. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I am live. That was just something that I was going to upload, but you know what? I'm going to just play it right there and just call it a day. What's going on, everybody? I hope your weekend has been good. Shout out to you, Kid Organic. Thank you. Salute, as always. Good commentary, you know, on the whole thing of, you know, swirl hustling, and then of the young brother, young biracial man that is being accused of cold-blooded murder when we know he was just protecting himself. I was wondering, I left you in the comment section, I was wondering, did you hear about that? I forgot to mention it to you about it, to ask you about that when you came to my last live stream of Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, like it's always like that. You know, this is different from that black female who was the aggressor, who's in jail for, you know, who went to jail for, you know, allegedly standing her ground, but it was a different story. This one here was clearly protection. He almost got ran off the road. They was shouting epithets. You felt like your life is in danger. You know, it's always life is in danger. Always the case of that. Like, it's always life in danger and stuff. And, you know, I was mentioning to somebody that I feel like our lives, hey, how you doing, AO? I feel like our lives as black men are put like secondary to even a dog's life. Let it, like, look at the whole situation that happened in New York months ago with that Central Park Karen and that black man. You know, the black man's saying to her now, he like, she suffered enough. She lost her job. I don't want any charges pressed against her. I'm not going to cooperate. Her job is gone and stuff. That's enough suffering. But look at the situation of that whole thing. It was like people were more concerned about her and how she was holding the dog, and the dog looked like he was choking, rather than her not minding her fucking business and lying on camera, saying I will call the cops and say that my life is being threatened by a black man. They weren't worried about that. They was worried about the condition of the dog. This is why I say what I say. You know, why you think they came down on Michael Vick the way they did about the whole dog situation? That was messed up. Yes, it is. Should he be held accountable for that? You're damn right he should be held accountable for that. But the thing is, we got people who still like, you know what? Oh, he's going to be the coach of, what was the Pro Bowl that happened? He was going to be the coach of that? I'm boycotting NFL because of Michael Vick. I'm like, oh, you about justice? He did his time. But meanwhile, you're not outraged about Zimmerman still walking the street. Like, come on now. Priorities. This is why I say we are on the lower pecking order as black men in America than dogs are. And that's sad. And I could tell you from working out of a squad house as a volunteer, one of my co-volunteers' wife is an avid pet lover, and this woman actually has no filter when it comes to social media. And she's an old disgusting white lady, but anyway, like, she's not disgusting because she's white. She's just disgusting. Like, she openly talks about having shingles. She's on the oxygen thing. She's obese. She's just really nasty to look at. And I look at him like, damn, bro. No wonder you be messing and sleeking out on her. But he ain't much to look at either. They just really too podunk white folks. Anyway, she has no filter, and she's mad because she was really pissed off about the whole John Wayne renaming the airport and taking his name off of it because of, in the light of this whole thing. It's been known for years that John Wayne was openly racist. Openly racist. This is the same man they got back in the day to play Genghis Khan. You know, when they didn't allow people of respected race to play lead characters in Hollywood. When they did Othello and they painted, I forgot the actor's name, they painted him in black shoe polish to play a black man. You know? She was upset. Oh, wow, this is that. And someone even explained to her that John Wayne was a racist. And you know what? She cared more about her nostalgia than she did about being morally and ethically correct. This is the problem that people are having right now with white folks. White folks, it's privilege. Like, they look at it, they project their life on my life, for example. Just because you haven't grown up in a neighborhood like this, you don't come from where I come from. Yeah, I know I'm an exception. I know I didn't become a victim of the streets or become another casualty or another statistic of the streets, and I still live around here. The fact is, you can't relate to that struggle. I'm not giving any Pookie, Ray Ray, Donisha, or any of them excuses to act the way they do. But I'm saying you cannot relate to the struggle to be talking about, well, if you just obeyed the law, you wouldn't have nothing to fear. For, you know, that's one of the most insulting things a person can say to me about this whole situation with the police. If you just obeyed the law. Because it appears that it doesn't work in our favor the same way it works in other people's favors. And yes, kid, you're correct. You're correct. If this was a white man who protected himself from a pickup truck of savages, he would be home right now having a cup of coffee, or if there was sports going on right now, he'd be home watching the latest game. You know, he'd be at a baseball game right now, watching his kids play. Tell me I'm wrong. But they don't see it like that. Like, and I'm tired of it. This is why I don't like, I just don't like to, how can you say, try to explain to people to get them to see my point of view. I'm like, look, you clearly have all the evidence in front of you. You clearly know what's up. You clearly know there's racial bias, but you're, you know, I'm not, it wasn't me, I didn't do it and stuff. I'm not afraid, you know, that was my ancestors and stuff like that. The problem still goes on. You just found other ways to do it. You know? You just found, I'm looking at the comment section, you just found other ways to be racist. And it's, a lot of people don't see it like that. They don't understand. It's so interwoven in their DNA, they don't even know that. And you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of us as black people having to find the postings from a so-called woke white person talking, saying the same thing we're saying. We say the exact same things, and oh, it's you professional victims and obey the law, blah blah blah, this, that, and the fourth. When a white person say it, they barely get attacked. They would say, well, look at it, this is woke SJW garbage. So let me get this straight. Hold on. Let me get this straight here. It's woke SJW garbage when a person of your same race, a white person, actually says something that is true. Is woke garbage. You see, this is why I don't have any desires to grow my channel to cater to people. That's why I talk really avidly against fanboys, against anti-SJWs. I don't have to talk about, I don't talk about SJW stuff. But I don't really bother with both of them, but it's just the fact that everything is considered SJW garbage when you don't want to deal with being accountable for your actions, or knowing something, you don't want to face the fact that something is just morally reprehensible. Like, and it's so much to a petty level. Like, case in point, I was talking to my friend about this whole situation with, let's bring a video game into it, Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 has Jackson Briggs, character that's been prominent throughout most of the series since Mortal Kombat 2. Just about all the games. About 10 of the 11 games he's been in. He's a main character. In the Mortal Kombat 11 storyline, when you play the arcade mode or the, with the characters, you basically get their ending. They non-canonical ending. When something's non-canonical, that means it's not the official storyline of the game. It's because you beat it with that character, they're going to show it from that character's perspective. You know, when you play story mode, that is all legit story. Anyway, Jack's non-canonical ending, he beat the Titan Chronica and he had control of the Sands of Time. And he was thinking about, you know what? I could make things right with me and my family, but why stop there? Look at all the suffering my people went through, and he would use the Sands of Time to correct the slavery, that wipe it out of existence. And you show him and his daughter and wife, because he can mold the Sands of Time any way he wanted it to be. He can mold it that way, and he had it that we never were taken as slaves, but he still had his same wife and daughter. And people was like, this woke ending of Mortal Kombat 11 is terrible. It's terrible. How this is some woke garbage. This is their way. This is like another way of being racist. I mean, Jason Black have talked about it too. Like, I've even put a snippet of it in one of my videos about the whole thing, about how, you know, them talking about Mary Sue's, talking about yes queen, and using all of these expressions to really take the piss out of things that we care about as black people and talk down on us in front of us, you know? When it comes to entertainment, like our presence annoys them. They don't like a character being black. And somebody actually said, to my point, this is bullshit. I ain't want to be reminded that Jax is black. Sorry, motorcycle went by. They actually said they don't want to be reminded that Jax is black. The man is, they animate the man with a darker complexion than I am, and you don't want to be reminded that he's black. Make it make sense, people. Really, seriously, make it make sense. Like, this whole thing is like, and in the midst of all this thing that really resurged after the whole George Floyd situation and stuff, and we have a lot of, we have our own to worry about. Like you said, to paraphrase you, Organic, it could be natural disasters, there could be all types of catastrophes, and you can always count on the black sellout. You know, nobody, Candace Owens, to you, Miss Candace Owens, nobody was glorifying George Floyd's, whatever his transgressions was in his past. That doesn't take away from the fact that he was an unarmed man, arrested for something that he wasn't even guilty of, and was killed by a police officer. It doesn't take away from that. It really doesn't. Tell me it takes away from that. Just because he did something in the past decided his fate at this very moment. And then, of course, we have people talking about, you know, people trying to assassinate his character. I've heard people that I even follow trying to assassinate the man's character. Look, what happened to him was morally reprehensible. We know that. This is not how, let me put the seat up. This is not how policing should be. And then a lot of people don't understand about the whole defunding police thing. I don't want the police defunded, man. Let me read this. But the store owner who called the cops hasn't been touched and his store is still open. You're right. You're absolutely correct about that. His store is still open and stuff. And this is another example of people weaponizing the police against us. You know? And then we have to worry also, during the whole riots, the police precinct got burned down by a white boy. Not a black person, not a rioter. A white boy burned it down, and then he took pictures of himself and this stuff that he stole from the police precinct with the weapons and vests and stuff before he burned it down. He got fired already, and this is what he used the riot, he used the protests and stuff to create, to basically do what he wanted to do and smear the whole cause. But we all know there's a difference between our lives matter and my life always mattered. My life is important, okay? I don't give a damn what any of you doughboys think. My life is important. I am not a slogan. I am not a movement. So every time we hear Black Lives Matter, we automatically are associated with the lesbian cult that basically have a manifesto on their page. And when I tell black women this, especially on Facebook, they will be like, oh no, it's not, oh no, that's you talking, you sound really stupid right now and stuff. Check your facts. I'm like, bitch, check yours. Won't you go there? I'm like, won't you look up Tree of Logic? Thanks for putting me on to that. That video really opened my eyes. Then my friend Xavier went, he was like, yes. He even posted a picture of the manifesto of them talking about what they're here for. To put to put transgenders and homosexuals in places of power in the black community. Nothing about heterosexual black men. And then we got to listen to black women tell us tell us that they are the most unprotected, the most disrespected of their race. Bullshit. Bullshit. And then I look at all of these memes and all these pictures of women, black women doing these protest stuff, and the cops are just standing there looking at them. And I'm just like, look, they are not going ham on you because you are a female. If that was black men doing the stuff that you women be doing at protests, like that whole smearing the mural today that you posted, we had our asses beat to a pulp. We would have our asses beat to the pulp, you know. But they like promoting that black woman. You're like, yeah, this isn't for everybody. Yep. But they like promoting that black woman who goes against the grain. They like that. Like they really like promoting that. This is why Candace Owens is still in the place that she's in right now. They like promoting that. I mean, you say it or no, look at all the disgruntled black women out there. And I said it before and I'm saying it again. A lot of black women who follow a lot of these anti-black male swirlers who got content on YouTube aren't the best looking women. We already know, everybody, most brothers should know this already. Most of them should know this already, that a lot of them aren't the best looking women. And that's why you, like I said in your comment section, why you think these women like Crystal Swirls got subscribers. Because these women don't look no better. They can have a picture of a pretty animated picture of a pretty black woman or a pretty sexy silhouette, and then when you see them in real life, their eyes go both ways like a hammerhead shark. They obese, which is a big problem with black women, yo. It's a big problem with black women, and I'm tired of actually trying to bring this to light, and a lot of them are just saying, you know, why, you know, even my own sister said that shit to me. Why are you so concerned about weight? Is that the only thing that you prefer, women? You know, you can find you a woman that looks everything you want, that looks like everything you want. She's not going to be good for you. I'm like, duh, I know that. Why you think I'm not married and I don't have any children? Because if it was just looks, that's all I'd be in there for. But you got to give a damn about your looks. Because I don't care if you're, oh, well, she's such a sweetheart, but she just have a weight problem. She still has a major problem. Weight is a major problem with black women. And as a first responder, EMT, medical transport person, I've taken home many women, many black women, and I've said it before and I say it again. I've taken many black women from hospitals to their house who are missing legs. I'm not joking about this. Oh, Crystal Swirls, like my friend Demetrius, that I talk to a lot, he's put me on the Crystal Swirls a lot. She is horrible as a person, as she is a failure as a black woman, and she looks like Slimer from the real Ghostbusters. Got dipped into chocolate and had a wig put on her. That's what she looks like to me. She is disgusting. It was one thing if she was doing a live stream and you can see there's the crud on her, the black crud on her gums. And I think I even took I think I made a video and I used that without mentioning her. Somewhere, I gotta find it and probably bring it up. But yo, she's horrible. She really is. Like, and I don't believe she actually has a fan base. And this really disheartens me so much because a lot of black women follow this bitch like she's the gospel. Like the gospel. And like you said, a lot of these women talk this shit online, but they still fuck with black men. But it's for money. You know, Crystal Swirl is just a disgusting person. You let as long as he white, like you said, like that skin, that's how they practice hypergamy. Like, that's exactly how they practice hypergamy. Like, as long as the skin's white, everything's all right. He can be DJ Pope. And then they want to always flip that. Remember they tried to flip DJ Pope on us? Y'all co-signed on him. Why wasn't y'all doing anything about DJ Pope? I'm like, excuse me? He's a nobody in the grand scheme of things. But he's everything to y'all. He's a wigger. Y'all like wiggers. Y'all like meth heads. Y'all like fat old men who got money. As long as he's white, y'all don't care about that. You know? Look at the whole situation that happened like a year or two ago in Deep Echo or Deep something, Texas, where that white dude punched the shit out that black woman because she broke his windows. Once y'all found out that she was in the wrong, even when she was so-called a victim, before the evidence of her breaking windows came to light, y'all was attacking the black man who was recording it. Why didn't he protect her? Why he in the car just watching and saying, oh shit? Because they watched the whole thing and they watched her break his windows and they watched him, that white man, put his gun away and punch her. He didn't shoot her or kill her. She broke his windows and she attacked him and she got her ass beat. But we supposed to be superheroes for women. This is what black women mean when they say we don't protect them. A lot of them start shit and they want us to finish it, want us to crash through the windows and stuff. Don't start shit that you can't finish. My mother has always said that to me. Don't start something you can't finish. And a lot of them, that's what they want us to do. This is what they mean when they're like, we don't protect them. Maybe it means something different to you, but that's what they mean. Because I've heard stories of black men protecting black women every day. What's the politician in Michigan where all those so-called patriots showed up without their mask, with their guns inside the fucking courthouse, and guess who was protecting her? 4 armed black citizens and 1 black female was protecting her, walking her to the house. And we hear countless other stories. We hear stories about black men who have protected black women from their pookie, only to be killed because he wanted to be a hero. So you create this drama around you that a lot of men with sense don't want to be a part of. They're like, oh shit, she getting her ass beat. Hello? Yeah, this is the police. Yeah, this is a situation going on right now and stuff. And a lot of that happens. Now, if a brother has a firearm on him and he know the police ain't gonna do shit, yeah. But if you see that man is beating ass and you ain't got no firearm on you, are you gonna really jump between them? Like, think about it. A lot of guys think of it, and it doesn't make you. You said I should start doing audio commentary. Yeah, I have before my Black Conscious of Fury videos, but I moved it to another channel. I only got like 8 subs on it. Nobody really pays attention to that over here for some reason. But I've been feeling this way for a long time, bro. Like I've been doing it. Just like the story I did about the mother who couldn't find her daughter in the neighborhood, burned the wrong house. Yes. Their intentions were noble, but you got to get your facts correct about that whole thing. And stuff. Like, you really got to get your facts correct about that. And speaking of things of that nature, that they're, God, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I hate when I lose my train of thought about it. But yeah, I've been doing commentary. I used to do commentary quite often. Like, if you look at my pictures and you see my side profile and say Black Conscious and Fury, I used to talk about a lot of stuff. I remember one of my videos that really got under a black woman's skin, because a lot of them don't comment on my those don't even pick up traction. A lot of my videos, because those type of videos don't really pick up a lot of traction here because I'm a small channel. But let's go to green screen browser. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to, let me interact with this and go to my channel, to my videos, your channel. And let's go to videos. Oh no, let me go to playlist. Here it is right here. I have a lot of old videos, you know, before I started getting more and more. I started getting more and more like comfortable behind this, but there's a lot of videos I have, and this right here. Let me go back to there. But yeah, I have a lot of videos I've done in the past of certain things. I remember I did one about Ciara, about how she's not a saint, and neither of her followers, and the whole thing with Future. Oh man, some black woman started. I had to delete the comment because she started coming on some whole different sideways things, and then I had one black female. I was just doing the stream and I was talking the same way I'm talking now, and then I find the comment on mine and she's like, ugly ass nigga, and I'm like, you look. So I click on her profile and it's her booing up with a Asian man. You see, this is the shit we talking about, and a lot of black women don't understand. They don't practice. Women are not race loyal. They not. They really aren't. Like in general, women are not race loyal. They go where the opportunity is. A lot of people think, oh, white women are very loyal to white men. No, they just know that they will lose family if they choose a black man or any man of another race. Oh, he can have a different accent, but as long as he's white, he can have a different accent. He could be French, he could be British, he could be Eurasian. But if he looked like me, oh please. Most families aren't. This is why I say women are not race loyal. They are resourceful to powers. They are slaves to resources. Hypergamous. And black women are trying to push this narrative like we ain't builders. That typical bullshit. We ain't builders. We ain't this. We ain't that. And I'm looking to myself. I'm saying to myself like, you know what? You call people like me educated lames. I'm not even college educated. I'm skilled because I went to a school. I basically went to a skilled school and got certified. You know, I put in 6 months of classwork. I took assessments. I took a final examination to get certified by a national registry and the state of New Jersey. Well, the national registry covers me in like 38 of 50 states. So if I wanted to up and go to another state that covered national registry, all I would have to do is do a little refresher class or file for reciprocity, and I can use my license anywhere. You know? But they don't. Women. Oh man, I'm just losing my train of thought here with this whole thinking about the whole situation. But let me get out of here and go back to this page here. Like it's been a crazy story so far. Like 2020 is bad enough. You would think with all of this going on right now, we would be more unified. But no, it's always been it's still this gender divide with black men and black women. Like it's always been this type of divide right now and stuff. And a lot of women, I found out a lot of women still don't want to acknowledge the whole thing about Margaret Sanger and how our women have become dependent on it. Like they don't know what protection is. They don't know what sexual responsibility is about, protected sex, the 20 plus million aborted babies since 1973, and we only 13% of the population. They, a lot. You know how many black men know about Margaret Sanger and the eugenics? If you had to compare black men and black women about eugenics, I say 3-1 black men, 3 more black men know than black women. I kid you not. I tell black women about that, and some of them are like, what the fuck you talking about? Mind your business and stuff like that. It's my body. I can do it. Oh, okay. Oh, babe, hey, well, Won't you, won't you take care of your natural hair? You don't need all that weave and shit. Oh, fuck you, I can do what I want. Okay, all right, you can do what you want. It's all about you. You can do what you want. That's the problem now. This is why they were mad and were coming for Fantasia, because Fantasia says she's submissive to a man, even though she is the one who makes the money because she got the music career. God knows what he does for a living. Nobody even talk about that, but I know she got royalties and all this other stuff, and she's a musician. She gets paid a lot to perform, but submission isn't like, get on your knees, bitch, and suck my dick. No, it's not that. It's a matter of respect, and a lot of them don't even respect black men. They respect hood niggas. They respect those type of men. I'm out here, I look out here every day. Come out here to walk my dog, and you see Generation Y or whatever women, younger women than me, women that are like, I'm old enough to be their damn father. They like maybe half or less than half my age. And that's what they've been raised to respect. That type of man. But I was walking my dog and I see a female, this female putting the music on, and she got her 8 and 9-year-old nieces or daughters out there. Get it, girl, get it. And she's like, yeah, and she over there, she carried herself real niggerishly, but she got like a short, bald haircut. But she one of those women who kind of carry themselves with a masculine energy, but she likes dick. She's one of those type, but she got her little daughters, or whatever they are, to her, dancing provocatively while the other girls record it. Like her friends are sitting on a bench in the park recording it. And then you see black men, probably younger than me, maybe 30s or so. You see them on the side looking like, and I'm like, you're not paying attention to those men over there, how they looking at that, and they are promoting that. These men aren't about, none of these men are saying they not saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why you got your girls out here doing that? That's not cool. They not saying that. They sitting there cheering it on. And as a mother or aunt, any man who's just looking on like this should be a red flag. But a lot of women, you know what? They raise their boys to be men like that, and they raise their daughters to be thoughts. But then they want to blame it on the black man, even though the black man that they had a child with ain't shit. And this is an expression that it's a universal expression. They give their best years to the wrong type of men. And it's universal. It ain't just us as black people. It's not just us as black people that applies to. Women in general give their best years to the wrong type of men, and some people try to make sense of it. A lot of them, like, maybe it's because they feel young and invincible. They feel like they got time to get it. They got time to get it out their system. Look, if you move responsibly, let's say you got a body count, but you were getting bodied, or you were bodying chicks, but you were using protection, so like you were using adamant protection. Now I can stand if you were a relationship type of person, you've been through relationships that didn't last long, but you don't have children from it. You're not a better baby mother, or you're not a baby daddy. I can understand that. But when you are leaving babies and you got a body count along with that, and look at Future. Like, come on now. People like Future are celebrated in the black community by black women. Like, I never understood the logic. And somebody in the comment section, please try to make sense of this for me. If you see a person with a lot of kids, be it a male or female, are you saying, well, damn, I want to add to that collection. Like, if you got sense, New Future is a baby. Yeah, he is. But you know what people were talking about more with him? Oh man, he fucked Scottie Pippen's wife. That's what they were talking about. That look at the whole distraction they got with the whole thing with Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina. Hello, we've known that. I've known that since last year that they had an affair. A lot of people have. I'm like, why is it coming back up? Oh, because she finally admitted what we known already. And then I read a couple sisters try to put this out here. Well, look at these pictures that Will Smith had with Margot Robbie. You know, they were taking like in the photo booth pictures. I'm like, you understand? They were taking pictures like that together. They was like taking crazy pictures or stuff like that. But like they were trying to say, well, look, he cheated with Margot Robbie, and I'm like, prove it. You said everyone been knew this niggas always needs to. Yes, sipping and spilling tea. You know, and I've heard you talk about it. I heard Jada Black talk about it. I've heard O'Shea talk about it, and Red Supreme talk about it too. Like the whole image of black women, like especially in the rap game. Who buying their albums? We're not. Do you own a Nicki Minaj album? Do you own like a full album? Do you consider yourself one of her babes? She can't use barbs because she got sued for that, so now she call her babes, whatever the fuck it is. Megan Thee Stallion, no. Are we talking about Megan and Steve Harvey? That if you look up that Megan and Steve Harvey video when they put the deep fake Steve Harvey face filter over hers, this shit is disturbing yet funny at the same time. No, I'm not buying her album. I don't even listen to her music. I don't know a Megan and Steve. I know one song that they played on the radio. I was like, oh, that's Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. Like Cardi B, don't own an album, don't plan to go to a concert. I don't like Nicki, I don't like Cardi, I don't like Megan Thee Stallion. Like, their music is not my cup of tea. I don't fuck with Beyonce music. I know her songs because I have females in my family. My mother and my sister love Beyonce. You know? But you will not catch me buying the album. Who's consuming? My point is, the biggest consumer of gossip, tea, sipping, ratchet behavior, music like that degrade women, ain't black men. It's black women. Popping their puss to that, like you say. Shaking their ass to that music. It ain't us. It's not us. I've never had this conversation like, yo, Cardi go hard, bro. I haven't had that conversation with any heterosexual men. At all. You might have it with people, you might hear homosexual black men talk about that and stuff. But you don't hear heterosexual black men saying, yo, I gotta pick up that new Cardi album. No one talks about that. They buy all the music that comes there. Now, you can get me to buy like I'll buy a J. Cole album, I buy a Mobb Deep album. You know, I know Prodigy's dead now, but still, you get what I'm saying. I don't fuck with Jay-Z music like that because my problem with Jay-Z's music is that before Cameron even put out the diss track about Jay-Z biting people's lyrics, I've known about that because I love listening to rappers who actually can spit, not just make hit songs, can spit. If you get them in there, they just start going off just on the track, just beast on the track, or some of them with a message. You know, not every rapper I like gotta be a super freestyler. Like J. Cole isn't a big freestyler, but he puts thought and message in the words he write. Kendrick Lamar, he freestyles sometimes, but a lot of his stuff you hear, and a lot of his freestyle is stuff that you hear. He combines freestyle with a lot of stuff he's written already. You know how I know that? Because I listen to lyrics a lot. Lyrics a lot. And that's what I'm into. And you know what people say to me today? Oh man, that lyrical artist, man, you know, like why, you know, why limit yourself to just that? And I'm like, I don't want to hear nobody in the studio mumble. I could do that. I can make my own music if I wanted to hear mumbling. Like people talking about that. What's the guy that got killed? Not Pop Smoke got killed. XXX Tentacion, he got killed. Like, I don't, people in that kind of genre, like XXX Tentacion, I gotta kill this damn bug around me. People who mumble like Lil Uzi Vert, that's not my type of music. Young Lil Yachty, that's not my type of music. It's not. Like it's made. Those music are made for the pill popping culture. They like that shit, and that consists of a lot of white folks, a lot of young white teens in the Midwest. I've been to Travis Scott's concert because my cousin works for the guy, and nothing. Travis Scott's a cool kid. He is for sure. I got no problems with Travis Scott. I was like, yo, but his fan base is predominantly white folks. And I ain't knocking him for that. I'm just saying they consume, like, when it comes to this new age of rap, they consume a lot of it. Yeah. You said I don't like the new rap. Pop Smoke was the dopest. So yeah, he was. And a lot of people will also, what's the guy name? That passed away, but he used to whine all over his tracks. Like, he was like another version of a Fetty Wap, but he always sing about drugs and stuff, and he died of them. Juice WRLD, another one, dead. You know, he lived that life. Like I said, it's about that pill popping culture. This is what a lot of them, even Future is a pill popper. And he drank a lot. He like, yo, I was so high in the studio, yo. I just was saying anything, but people said I said this, so I just went with it. He didn't even know the lyrics to a song he recorded because he was so high when he did it. He said that. That's not the type of person I want to listen to. You know? I recommend anybody who listen to rap, go play DNA by Kendrick Lamar and get to the final minute of that song where it just totally switches and he just starts rapid firing like this dude's, like, his breath control, he just was going the fuck off on it. He snapped. Now that shit was dope. And why I bring up this song is because earlier I was talking about Mortal Kombat 11, right? And they used DNA in a commercial for the new Mortal Kombat expansion, which is a continuation of the story mode called Aftermath. And I gotta hear this. Well, you know, I don't like that they're using rap in Mortal Kombat. I didn't like when the game first came out. Oh man, I think that 21 Savage song or whatever his name is, 21 Savage, that song doesn't fit Mortal Kombat. I'm like, what? Fuck out of here, bro. Like, come on now. Anyway, I don't rock with that music. I really don't. Like, I really don't rock with a lot of new cats today. If there's any current generation of rappers I mess with, it's Cole, Kendrick. There's another one that I wanted to get into. I keep forgetting his name. You know, people was like, not even Wale. I was like, Wale, nah. Wale is pretty much, he's so in love with wrestling and Jerry Seinfeld, you know. He made a song, he got an album called The Album About Nothing, you know, and he got Jerry Seinfeld on there. He was so happy about that. And I'm like, no, man, I don't fuck with Wale like that. I ain't saying he's talented, but nah, I'm good, you know. Hey, Surreal Matrix, what's going on? Like, it's crazy, man. I don't fuck with a lot of rappers because of that. Like, and people are like, oh, you talk about this and you talk about that, but you are a big fan of Mobb Deep and you're a big fan of Kool G Rap and you're a big fan of this and gangster rap. I like, because you can do all of these. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about in hip hop, but do it in a skillful manner. like do it in a skillful manner. Like Busta Rhymes was, and he's animated, he was crazy, but the motherfucker can rap. He can rap. The dude can rap. You know? Prodigy, well, he ain't got even my cousin, who was a rapper, my cousin was like, yo, I don't know, I don't like Prodigy. He ain't got nothing, he don't have anything innovative to his flow. And I'm like, I'm like, Prodigy was dope. Like, he ain't got to be like, I'm the Prodigy, blah 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 blah. I'm the Prodigy. No, he told stories, and you telling stories, and you talking what they even made up something at Queensbridge, Dun language, something that him and Havoc had. They were unique, you know. They had flows to it, and Prodigy did have a flow to his, but his was like more reserved. Not everybody hit you with all these flows. Like, look, J. Cole don't hit you with no crazy flow. Sometimes he can do it. He started studying other people's flow, and showing that he could do it better than they can do it. And stuff. He just was doing it. He's doing that shit for fun. Kendrick Lamar got so many different flows and different nuances, and then in the studio he changed the pitch of his voice. He can record it one way. He fucks with the pitch of it, and people that I don't like him, he does different voices. No, that's him. Him and the producers fucking with the pitch of it. That's what he's doing, like to add something unique to the song and stuff. Like, I'm not so Good Kid, Mad City was my album, and one of my favorite songs on there was the song Good Kid, produced by Pharrell. You know, I think that the one that went Mass Hallucination, baby, that was Pharrell. A lot of people don't even pay attention to that. That's him doing the hook line. Ill education, baby. He's like, he talked about everything in this song. I think when the George Floyd situation first popped off, I was like, I played that song. I put a sample of that song up on my page. And he said, all I see is strobe lights blinding me, in my hindsight finding me by myself. And he started going into, he made this song many years before the whole situation going on. This is how long a lot of police brutality and racial profiling has been going on with the police for years. And Kendrick made that song before the whole George Floyd situation going on. And a lot of people don't even pay attention to what he's talking about in the song, Good Kid. He trying to just get through life and just stick to being himself, and he got to worry about niggas in his hood, he got to worry about cops in his hood, he got to worry about giving into vices. He talked about 3 different topics in one song that's about 3-something minutes long. The first verse is, for the record, he was like, for the record, I got ate a lot yesterday. I got animosity building. It's probably big as a building. Me jumping off of the roof is me just playing it safe. And he talking in that part, he's talking about how he just trying to, he ain't affiliated with no gang, but he's constantly getting harassed, he's getting jumped, he's getting attacked because they don't know where he from. Oh, you repping, you a blood, you a crip, what are you? Why you in my territory? Shit like that. Then the second verse is about the police harassing him. You know, looking for a gang affiliation tattoo. He got Hear the Dog Say Roof. A lot of stuff he's breaking down in that song. And then the third verse is about him. All he see in this room is goon candy for, you know, shrooms, goon candy. All the first 2 verses are fucking with him. The first 2 topics are fucking with him so much, psychic, like emotionally. He's looking to drugs to escape that maze. He's harassed every day for just being a good kid in the mad city, and he's by fellow black people and by the police. And now he's looking to drugs as a solution. A lot of people don't think about music like that. They don't listen to it. They don't break it down like that. They just want to hear stuff that got keeping my dick in my pants. All this stupid shit. You just barbling. You're using all this other stuff. Like, I don't understand. Like, everybody sound the same, yo. They do. They sound the same. And when OG rappers talk about that. Oh, they haters. They just mad because they irrelevant. No, the music, and it's been to the point. I know back in the days we had our parents say, "What the fuck is this garbage you listening to?" Well, in my day, this, that, and the fourth, and stuff. And this is not me saying, "Well, my parents is right." This is not me just taking a crown from my parents and I'm just hating on shit because it's a generational difference. The shit, back in the day, my parents didn't understand this stuff. Not can vouch for that. They didn't understand it. It wasn't their type of music. It didn't exist back then. The Sugar Hill Gang came and they just was somebody that they were just at the party, just like hotel, motel, Holiday Inn and stuff. Run DMC was still like, they were, compared to what's out today, they were wholesome, and compared to Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, wholesome, except for that one song where he was cursing his ass off in that song. It's a rare song that you hear from Jazzy Jeff. I mean, from Fresh Prince. I've never heard him curse like that ever again. Something happened to him in real life when he got into his accident, and he rapped about it in the song, like really unexplicitly. But yeah, compared to that, and then people came along like, that's why NWA took the industry by storm, because of that. They took that struggle. Hell, Grandmaster Flash and the Fury's 5 was talking about it. Like, but they weren't as explicit and raw. That became as hip hop evolved and became more of a place, and people realized, yo, he talking about their life over in New York. I'm gonna talk about my shit here in LA. I'm talking about the gang life, straight out of Compton. Man, NWA was another one. Like, that was another group right there. And then I'm thinking about who I grew up with, because I'm from the East Coast. All I knew about NWA a lot, because when that album came out, don't matter, just don't bite it. It's the world, yo. And MC Ren, he's like, he don't get as much credit as he should for being one of the best to rap out of the NWA group. He don't. Maybe that's me. You tell me, Organic. Do you from Cali? I don't think MC Ren got enough credit for how good he was. So DJ Quick was another one. I know he ain't NWA, but DJ Quick lyrically. DJ Quick was another one. MC8, of course. And then from I think from down in south, where we had E40 from the Texas, I think E40 was from. I know Scarface is from down Houston and stuff. Scarface was lyrical. This is why I have this whole gravitation towards I can listen to different types of hip hop, and people are, oh, you talk about all this stuff, but you like gangster rap. I like, you can be a lyrical gangster. You can. Look at Cool G Rap. Cool G Rap is a main example of that. He said, Cool G Rap is known for bringing mad noise. I'm bad boy. When I was young, I always carried guns. I never had toys. Grim, his boy Grim. He's like, Grim, give me the infrared and send me, and I'm putting red dots on niggas' foreheads and making motherfuckers Indian. You got beef? Go get yourself a reef. Because it's murder, because I put holes in my beef like fucking White Castle burgers. He talking about killing niggas, but he's doing it in such a lyrical way. You like, holy shit. It's G-Rap, baby. You know me. You try to hurt this, I'll split your fucking top and leave a fingerprint on purpose. Like, that's right, I killed you, nigga, and I'll leave evidence. Come get me. And then I had to listen to these two dudes I used to, they brothers. They brothers, like siblings, but they black Guyanese, but you know how West Indians, a lot of them think they're better than black Americans. Oh man, that's just too gangster. That's just, come on, man. That's just, we know I'm like, fuck that. Seriously. Hey, what's going on, Hot Donor? So that's why I like, there's people who talked about, who kept they is gangster rappers who were mad lyrical or had a message in their song and stuff. And now not everything is about just drinking liquor and getting high all the time. Back in the day, they talked about all of that stuff, but they did it in a way. They did it to doper beats. They did it in a more lyrical manner. That's why there's such a disconnect with me in today's rap, for the most part. There's I talked about earlier, there's people that's still dope and stuff. So yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. So how's everybody going? How's everyone doing throughout this whole pandemic? How's everybody adjusting to it? You still working? You gaming? You still trying to get through life? Things are different now. Like, talk to me in the comment section. I done went on for an hour. Just rapid fire, man. Oh, you going good? That's good to hear, Hard Donor. All right? Like, yeah, I could talk a lot about hip hop. Like, I could. And it ain't so much about the beefs, the rap beefs. It's like, I was listening, for example, I think the last rap beef that I was emotionally invested in. Oh, you good? You still at UPS? Yep. Yeah, I'm no longer a housekeeper. I've been EMT full time for the last 3 months now. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. This past Monday that just happened, it was a real sad story, man. We got a call for a wellness check here in my city, and it was downtown Jersey City. It's a high rise where a lot of elderly people live, and we had a welfare check. They haven't seen this neighbor in like a week and some change, and no one has seen them, and it started to smell in the hallway, and you know what that meant. So me and my partner get the call. We bring the stretcher upstairs. Got the AED with us, whatever we need. AED and a stretcher, just in case we need to perform CPR on them. So we get up there. The police are already there. They can't get in the door because when the maintenance man try to open the door, the chain is on it. So when I get there, I'm like, look, is it open? They be like, it's the chain on there. The two policemen and the maintenance man was there, and I'm like, I opened the door. I was like, don't y'all smell something? I was like, me and my partner smelled it once we got off the elevator. So we're like, yo, I need to get this door open. That smell is not good. I mean, at this point, with the combination of people cooking and it's going through the hallway, I was like, it could be feces, but I think this person, they are not in good shape. Meaning they were dead. So the maintenance man was like, yo, I can go get some bolt cutters. I'll be right back. And he got on the elevator, and the cop was like, I was trying to get him to open his door. I don't know, maybe because he was a black maintenance man. Yeah, maybe I was yelling at him, maybe or so. But when he saw a black EMT show up, he was a little bit more compassionate from brother to brother. I don't care. Anyway, he came back, popped that open. We walked into it. I can look at it right here. This is the living room. When you walk in the kitchen, immediately to my left, ahead is the living room. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. And then the bedroom, when you look over to the right, bedroom right there in the bathroom, directly to the right. We look right down there inside his own bathtub. That man was bloated. He was putrefying. He's been dead for over a week, probably. And the smell, I had to... I couldn't get that smell out of my nose for the next 2 days after that happened. Every time I thought about it and stuff, but I think the thing that really fucked with me the most was he died alone. No one there to check on him. He probably tried to get up. The way his leg was, he had his leg up and stuff. I think he tried. I really think he was trying to, and I don't know if it was a heart attack. I don't know. But the smell alone, I was like, oh my God. Combine that with the fact that he died alone, I think that really fucked with me. Because this is the third dead body I've come across as an EMT. I came across my first 2 in 1 week. Sunday and a Thursday, you know? And I was like, I couldn't get that out my head for the next 2 days, you know? Because the first two I found were freshly decedent. They was only dead for maybe a couple of hours. You know, rigor mortis done kicked in. I found a homeless lady. She was cold. One guy was like, I usually see her standing here, but I saw her down on the ground and she was not responding. So me and my partner showed up on the scene and I'm like, he's like, yo, she's dead. I was like, yeah, I know, she's cold. He's like, yo, she's dead. You know, my friend ain't even an EMT. He's a driver, but he's a student. He was like, she's dead. I was like, yeah, she is. No pulse. And then I was like, and I'm shifted her, and she was like this on the ground, like her body moved like this. She's rigor mortis was still set, so she's only been dead for quite some time. No smell, no nothing. She was a homeless lady. You smell a urine on her. I don't know if it's because she was homeless or because it was a death reflex. That's the type of stuff I see every day, you know? Well, not every day, but potentially see every day. Fortunately, I work only 3 days a week now as an EMT because instead of working 5 80-hour shifts, you work 3 12-plus hour shifts. So I work Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. I work this week. And then the following week, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So this is my 3rd of 4 days off in a row. Now, hopefully I could pick up shifts again at my other job, you know. But I want to get another EMT job. I don't want to do medical transport no more. I really don't. I want to get another EMT job that's per diem so I can make good money doing that, you know. But yeah, that really stuck. That really fucked with me. That last Monday did. And then that same cop was on a different job that I was on about Thursday, and he's like, yo, I just want to tell you something, man. I was like, what happened? He's like, I'll tell you later. So he pulled me to the side. He's like, yo, when they came and got that body and they pulled it out of the water, it smelled even worse. So I'm like, bruh. Because they had to stay there. We got this whole process where we have to wait to the EMT, the paramedics to come on the scene, hook a electrode to them, and confirm no pulse. They took 2 hours because when a person is dead, the priority goes, we got 1 through 6 out of 9 priorities. Anything priority 1 through 6 gets primed, gets pushed to the top of the list, depending on the 1 through 6 category, which one in order it goes. Anything death is like a priority 8 or 9, and they like, you know, we got people who really are alive and we want to get to them. And I understand that, but we's that short-handed on paramedics that we had to wait 2 hours. I was fine with that. You know what? That kept me off the street. That's less cases I had to deal with. There's probably potentially 2 to 3 less calls I had to deal with that day. 3 less charts I had to do. So I was like, fine. So we in that whole hallway and people was like, you know, the neighbor's like, he's dead, isn't he? I was like, we can't. The cop was like, we can't talk about it. The guy knew. The neighbor across the hall from the guy knew he was dead. He knows the smell. This goes to show you that this man has lived in this building and he has gone through this before with neighbors. Just to know that, just to die alone, you know? You got children, but your children don't, like, they either live in another town. I don't know, man. I'm glad. I know my mom's still fairly young. She's in her late 60s. But I'm glad she's with my sister and my brother-in-law. Because my mother's in good health, but you never know what natural causes. They can take you at any fucking age. I mean, hell, Rerun from What's Happening died of natural causes in his 50s. Remember Rerun? Fred Berry? You know? You said, damn, sounding some Resident Evil shit. Yeah. The putrefaction that you smelled? Yeah. That's a corpse. He was a corpse. He wasn't a decedent no more. You're a decedent when you've been dead for a few hours. Or you just recently died. He was a corpse. A corpse, bro. Yeah, I know it does. And what's going on, Blind Man? He was a corpse. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of it takes a lot of mental fortitude to do this job. And I'm like, I wasn't like, okay, what did I sign on to? What have I gotten myself into? I was like, okay, now I know how this feels. It was inevitable. I was anticipating it, but I had no idea. Oh yeah, but on the light side of a situation of being an EMT, I can tell you this. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call a couple of blocks away from my headquarters in Jersey City, where I work out of, and York Street, a couple blocks away. Lady had a child over the phone. While they was on the 911 call, she gave birth. So when we got there, she was sitting on her toilet with her baby in her hand, little baby girl and stuff. She's like, yeah, you know, she's moving a little bit, but she's starting to turn a little blue and stuff. And did she cry? That's what my partner asked her, because my partner's he's more experienced than me. I'm fairly new at this. She's like, yeah, she cried, but she's not doing much of that no more. She turned blue. I was like, yo, because we already know. We bought the stair chair and we bought the bag that got an oxygen tank in it. And we got this technique called the blow-by technique, where we take the oxygen, turn it on, and we put the tube into it. We put this mask called the nasal cannula. I mean, no. A non-rebreather mask or the tube, and it blows oxygen. We turn it up to its highest, and we don't put it directly on the baby's face. We put it right here. It's called blow-by, so the oxygen can blow by and the baby can breathe. The baby started getting color again, but before we did that, we got these prepackaged kits called the Obi kit, and they got so my partner Raphael, he put one clamp on this end, one clamp on the other end, and he cut in the middle. He cut the cord while I put the baby in the blanket and I held the baby, and just to see, I was sitting there like, let's see, look at my face. I was like, wow. I was like, I'm holding a newborn, y'all. I'm holding a newborn. I know I didn't help the baby push out, but I'm holding. Y'all don't believe, I'm holding a newborn. That's amazing. Like, you don't understand how amazing that felt to me. I'm holding a newborn baby. And then the paramedics come in, because, of course, paramedics come too. And she's like, okay, I'll take the baby from you. And she talks to me later. I had to take the baby because, you look nervous. I was not nervous. That look on me was a look of amazement. I'm holding the baby. She's like, I know. That's my first baby too. So she took the baby from me, not because I was nervous. She was trying to get that off. She's like, no, she took it from me because as a paramedic, that's her first newborn as well. But every EMT that I work with was like, we are trying to get them to the hospital as soon as possible. She is not having that baby in the back of our truck because the mercurnum, they don't like the smell. They're like, it's smell. That smell, we would have to decon the vehicle. We don't like it. No. It's funny, like, if they like, no, she's not giving birth in the back of the truck. I was like, she might not have a choice one day. I anticipate it. I have to put on my blue gown. It's these blue gowns that they give us. I'll show you. Well, I thought I had one. I must have threw it in the garbage. It's this blue plastic gown they give you. Anyway, it's called PPE, personal protective equipment. Gown, you put the gown on first. You put it, it's a sling to put your thumb through it. Then you put the glove over it. You got to have that on. And when you are, hallelujah indeed. When you are expecting the child and you get helping or push, you got to put your hands right there near the head and you got to hold. And you got to get her to push and you got to be quick because once that baby pops out quick, that's what everybody tell me. You got to be there ready like a quarterback and you holding it right there and you ready to receive the ball. You have to, that's what I've been taught. Hasn't happened yet. I come close, but I've only been people who've been in the early stages of labor and we were able to get them to the hospital. But as for an outright like, no, not yet. I got comfortable with my mother handed me my nephew one time who was less than a year old. Oh yeah, I was really amazed because she was It was a baby girl. She had to weigh about, I don't know. She was about 5-6 pounds somewhere. But once we put the oxygen on her face and stuff, and put near her face, and they use the blow by technique where we turn it up and the oxygen comes. This is the mask that usually we put around a person's face. We just turn it up all the way and let that oxygen flow into their space, like around their nose and their mouth, so they can start inhaling oxygen at a concentrated level versus room temperature, which is not a lot, you know. And also, on the other terms, when it comes to life-saving methods, we got people who overdose, and heroin, when it's a heroin overdose, we have to use a drug called naloxone or Narcan, which everybody, that's its technical name, that's its designer name, Narcan. Back in the day, people was talking about you gotta give them a needle to the chest, to the heart area. No, Narcan is like this. A person's out, you put the flashlight in their eye, and if their pupil don't react to the light, and it's like a pinpoint, and it doesn't react to the light, that's a telltale sign of opiate overdose. But not all the time. A person could have sustained a head injury, and usually if a head injury is on one side and not the other, sometimes you got one pupil on the injury side, you got one pupil that's pinpoint, while the other one is reactive, meaning that they have trauma to the right side of their head, more than likely. But if you got bilateral pinpoint and you don't see any physical trauma, you palpate, you don't see no blood coming from the ears, you don't see no wounds on the head, no subdural hematomas, which is like big bumps or anything, more than likely they've overdosed on an opiate. And what happened is that, oh, you raised your little sister. I'm the youngest one. I'm only 6 years younger than my oldest sibling. So yeah, basically they overdose on opiate, basically. And Narcan, you take the drug, you get this vial, and it's like 2 milliliters of the liquid, and you screw this thing to the top that fits in the nostrils. It's called a mucus atomization device, MAD. You screw it to the syringe, and you inject 1 milliliter into both nostrils. Some people do the whole thing in one nostril. I try to just evenly spread it back and make sure their head is tilted so it can hit their system. And usually when a person overdoses on opiates, you have to Narcan them and you have to bag them. When you bagging a patient, that means you are using what we call a BVM, a bag valve mask. And it's a bag valve mask, and you rather supply it with oxygen also, because people can just use it normally when it's a bag that squeezable bag that refills with air. It's like you ever seen a one of those beach balls or whatever, those little toy footballs, or the squeaky toys that you have for your dog, and when they squeeze it, it refills with air. When you squeeze it, get this damn bug. Anyway, the bag valve mask is a tube connected to a bag, and you squeeze it, and you gotta hold it right here. You gotta use this technique called the C clamp. The C clamp is like this. Basically, you hold in your 3 fingers here on the jaw, and you hold in to the seal the mask above the nose and your mouth. I can't do it because it's upside down, but on my own face. But your 3 fingers, these 3, it's called the CE clamp. C, E. And you holding the 3 fingers at the jaw, and you trying to hold it there, and do that hold as tight as possible, and squeeze that, like when squeeze into there. So you gotta let the bag refill. Don't squeeze it too fast. You gotta squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it refill. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze. You gotta do that. But also, you can take that same oxygen tank I was telling you about that we have, that we supply babies, that I used on a blow by technique for the babies, or for a person having difficulty breathing. You take that same one, that same oxygen tank, and you can connect it to a BVM, so you're squeezing more concentrated oxygen into them. And the purpose of the oxygen is not because they not breathing, it's just that they not breathing adequately. And when a person is breathing very minimally, they're losing oxygen to their tissues. And when you, yes, your blood carries oxygen in it, people. And it carries oxygen in it, and then you end up losing oxygen. That's why people turn blue. This is why. And the most important organs to keep a person alive is because you want to keep oxygen in a person's bloodstream and their lungs to breathe, so the lungs and the heart can function in the brain. But heart, lungs, and the brain, you need those. That system, you need to keep those running. Those are very important. Pumping. It's like a machine. You need the lungs generating, putting blood, the oxygen circulation into the blood and back to the lungs, and so back and forth. And the brain is involved in that. And you want to keep oxygen to the brain, because if a person loses oxygen to the brain, they can become a vegetable, or they can go into a coma, or they can die. I gotta kill this damn insect. He's getting on my fucking nerves. Do I have anything to kill him with? Damn, he's gone. I'm gonna spray him with something. But anyway, it's it's a lot of stuff that I'm sitting here talking about it to you guys, and I can't believe that I actually remember a lot of this stuff. I know it's been almost 2 years since I've been in school, and I haven't used it a lot on the field. But when you have a good teacher, or so, I'm not really good with remembering the terminologies. Hell, my partner that I worked with a lot. Well, I don't have a steady partner yet, but I work with different partners, and one of my partners is a woman who's in her late 40s, early 50s. She was like, I don't know all these terminologies. I know what to do. I know enough of the terminologies. She don't even feel bad that you don't know what the endocrine system is and stuff, or this and all this other. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that I need to brush up on that I don't know like that, because I'm not a teacher. I know what works out there on the field. I got to keep that person breathing, oxygenated. I got to do my ABCs. You know what ABCs is an acronym for? Airway, breathing, circulation. Circulation is blood. Okay? So let's say, for example, I walk into a scene and I got a person who's like, they out. We don't know why they're out. They just unresponsive. You're trying to use verbal stimuli. Like, hey, can you hear me? Open your eyes, can you hear me? And stuff. You gotta use verbal stimulation. You gotta use let me see. It's AVPU. You gotta use you got the verbal stimulation, and you have to use you got it this way. You got response to audio. I'm gonna bring it up for you guys. Let me see if I can go to here. Let's go to browser background, and not that browser background. As you can see, green screen browser. Here we go. Now let's go here, and let's go to AVPU scale. This is it right here. I'll show you here. You gotta rate this on people. Here we go. This is my headphones at.
Hi, I'm Anthony and I'm a paramedic, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you how to take an AVPU scale on a patient. The AVPU is an acronym for alert?
Yes.
Is the
Alert.
patient responsive to voice? Is he responsive to pain?
Yes, yeah. Alert. Yeah, of course. Alert. God. But I was thinking, you see why I messed up on that? Because I was thinking, I was trying to explain to you guys, if I come onto the scene and a person's not alert, I'm already knocked A off the list. They not alert. Now I'm gonna go to voice. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? They don't respond to that. You try something, try to like touch their fingers, squeeze their hands, something, touch them to get them to what? Or even if they can't open their eyes, they might go like that. You know, that might keep a notation of that. That might be a place where they heard that. So when you do the rapid trauma assessment and you seeing if there's any pain there and you palpating it, you feeling for any injuries, looking for anything, priaplasm. If a man gets crushed and he has blood coming out of the head of his junk, he might have had a crush injury to his pelvis or so, or check for soil to see if he soiled himself, because that might mean he's the reason why he's unresponsive is that he's probably dead. That could be a death reflex. But if you get in the response and you got a pulse, you know, you check. That's the next thing you do after you check. If they unresponsive, you check for their you check their airway. You know, you see if the airway is open and patent. When it's patent, I mean it's unobstructed. There's no blood in it. There's no teeth, anything, no mouth injuries. You check mouth injuries. You check for that. The airway's patent. Are they breathing? You know, they got a pulse, but are they breathing on their own? Are they breathing adequately? It's the question. If they're not breathing adequately, what you do is get the oxygen. Once you get the oxygen, you know. Oh, I forgot one thing you want to notate is that you want to hold them in the. If you don't know the nature of their injury, if you do this, you're gonna have to have somebody hold that. So you have to be the one to go get the oxygen. If your partner is with you and they put them in the C-spine precaution, they stabilize their head, they can't let it go. They have to stay in that position, and you have to go get a collar. Make sure if they're in that position, you don't have to do this all the time, but you collar them if it's it was a car accident and they out or something of that nature. You don't know why they're down, and you see the injuries on them, or you don't know what. Once you put them in a C-spine precaution, which is basically holding their head stable, your partner has to get a C collar. You put the C collar on them, and once that collar's on them, you can let go of the C-spine precautions. But first, you might want to put the oxygen on them if they're not breathing adequately. But if they're not breathing at all, you might want to start CPR immediately. Okay, but this goes back to what I was telling you earlier about opiate overdose. This is why we do the trauma assessment. We check the eyes. Person can be unresponsive and be like, every breathing maybe 6 breaths a minute, which is you're supposed to be breathing maybe 12 to 20 as an adult breaths. Average 12 to 20. The older you get, you can go to maybe 12 the most, because your organs functionality is winding down. You know, it's your later stages. So if you start CPR if you have to, or you supply them with oxygen, whatever you need to do to get them alive. But you gotta to keep them alive. But you check the eyes, because that's a telltale sign. And you also, if you see pinpoint pupils, you got to rule out head trauma. So you feel the head and stuff. Look for any bleeding out their ears. Look down their mouth, their nose. See any clear. If you see a clear liquid coming out their ears, that's a brain injury right there. If you see clear liquid coming out of their ears, that's or their nose. So that's a brain injury right there. But if you don't see that and they still have unresponsive pinpoint pupils, what else should you check for? You know, before you knew, what else should you check for? It doesn't mean anything in all situations because not everybody use heroin the same way, even though it gives you the same result. But what should I check for if I'm suspecting an opiate overdose? The opiates come in different forms. You should check for track marks, make sure there's no needles in them or so. So you try to raise their arm up if you have to, cut their sleeves, see if there's any track marks in their arms or anything fresh or whatever, so you can rule out if it's heroin or not. Either way, opiates, if there's no head injury and they pinpoint, get that Narcan anyway. Get it, use it, because more than likely, not every opiate is dope. That's what I was leaning to. That's what I'm saying. You can check for track marks and stuff, but not everybody uses that now because they know better. They use prescription drugs. Also, there's opiates that are prescription or over the counter. Heroin is just the most cheapest opiate and the most easiest to get because you can get that off of the streets. Whereas the other ones, it depends on the class of people too. If you have people like upper class people or more well-off people, they can overdose on those type of opiates that you will only get prescribed. I said subscribe, prescribed to, because they can afford access to them. You know, so it's crazy how you can actually opiates. Orange is dope. You know, why do you think they legalizing marijuana? Because they realize marijuana is not the problem. Marijuana is not the problem. Opiates and cocaine are, especially opiates. I can tell you, working out there in the street, I'm looking, my window's right here. Working out there in this city, we get overdoses around here more often than you think. I had one who was on the bus, and she's a regular. She's a regular drug addict. I'm an opiate abuser. This woman can't walk without a fucking walker, but she can damn sure do some dope. I mean, let me tell you a crazy story, because I can talk about these stories because I'm not telling you the person's name, but I can just tell you the story. See, I can tell you that. That's HIPAA. That's HIPAA, like a HIPAA violation. I forgot what HIPAA is acronym for, but hospital, so something of that nature. Let's find out what HIPAA means. Right there.
HIPAA stands for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Its original purpose was to protect.
Yes. To avoid violating HIPAA, I can tell you stories, but I can't tell you names or any other information. So yeah, I can tell you stories. I can tell you the stories, but I can't tell you names and information because it could come back and haunt me, and cost me my job. And it's anyway. So like I was saying, there's a female. She's a known opiate abuser. She walks around in a walker. She can get high, but she can't walk on her own, but she can damn sure get high. That's why drugs are so dangerous. Some people, it takes front seat to everything. The woman is like a walking corpse. I had to like hit her the chest to try to get her wake up to see, but because sometimes, not all the time, she ODs to the point where she goes. Let me see. I used to smoke a lot of weed, and if I overdose, the most that would happen, I'd fall asleep. Yeah, that's why weed has been bumped down. Weed was only a problem because of back in the day in the 30s, you know, the whole reefer madness bullshit. They knew it had a lot of medicinal properties, and they tried to villainize it, just like the alcohol industry. The people who made spirits try to discredit absinthe by saying absinthe is the devil and make you see fairies. It's too potent. It'll mess with your mind. Absinthe does not do that. Absinthe does not do that. But anyway, let me tell you, I had another patient he was a man who walked with crutches. He's blind. He's legally blind. He got you ever saw the movie the Ray Charles movie? Remember when Ray Charles was going blind? He had that, you saw the crust and the mold around his eyes because his eyes were deteriorating as he was getting older when he was a kid. Remember that? This man had that around his eyes. And then he had a funny misshapen leg. His leg was misshapen because it was gangrene. The man had maggot casings on his shirt. I kid you not. The cop was like, the young female cop was like, that's not maggots, that's rice. I was like, no, those rice morsels aren't that big. Those were maggot casings. And I'm like, look at that yellow one right there. I was like, did he have white rice and he had yellow rice at the same time? No, those are fresh maggots right there. And that yellow one you see on his shirt is an old maggot casing because the maggot cocooned and became a goddamn fly. So, to continue on, that leg was gangrene. And guess why he was blind? Because the diabetes that they just let, this man's homeless. They just take him off the street, treat him for a while, and send him on his merry way and discharge him. The man is homeless. He has diabetes that has made him blind. He's legally blind. Legally blind. And he's just tossed to the street like garbage. He need to lose that leg. The leg is gone beyond help. He has to have it amputated. Did they let him do that? Nope. They have it. He's still limping around on crutches, blind as all hell, tapping against the wall, trying to do this stuff. And the cops was just laughing at him because he was carrying on. The man was on coke, okay, cocaine. All right. They don't even check his pockets. They help him get on my ambulance. We sitting him on the thing, and he up there, and making up all these crazy stories because he's coked up. And I'm like, he's on something, and I should have knew it was coke. But you know how I knew it was coke? So I'm sitting there doing our report on the way while we taking him to the nearest hospital, because we could take him to any hospital they want in the Hudson County. Meaning from Jersey City Medical Center, the Christ Hospital, the Palisades Medical Center to Hoboken University Medical Center to Bayonne Hospital. We could take them to any Hudson Regional, Secaucus, New Jersey. We could take them to any of these hospitals of their choice, as long as it's in the Hudson County that I'm out of. So anyway, we on the way there. You know what this motherfucker does? He reaches into his pocket and he does a bump. He unwraps the paper and does coke in front of me. I was like to my partner, I was like, yo, do you just do coke in front of me? My partner was like, driving. My partner's driving, like, looking back like, yo, what? I was like, he just did coke. He's like, I didn't do coke. I was like, you have it in your pocket. It's in a straw. You just did coke. And I'm like, bruh. My partner's like, God damn it, man, if you make me come back, because my partner's dealt with this guy before. I haven't, because I'm fairly new. My partner's like, God damn it, man, if you make me come back there, it's going to be a problem. The dude did cocaine in front of me, man. He couldn't see. He can't even see his own dick. But he did cocaine in front of me, man. You want to talk about crazy times? Shit is nuts. But I'm about to wrap this one up. I went almost 2 hours, y'all. I had to come on. I haven't been alive in a long time. I know I've done recent game streaming. I did Retro this morning, and I did Ghost of Tsushima. I'm so tempted to play that game offline, but I'm going to continue where I left off. I might do that. But I'm going to check you guys later, yo. Thank y'all for listening and everyone, but I'm out, man. I gotta go take care of some things. I gotta feed the sharks and walk the dogs and all that good stuff. So, thank you for watching. Let me see. I'm trying to close out all this other stuff that I'm getting. Okay, and I'm out, y'all. So I'll check y'all later.